students, good afternoon. I am Kunal and today I will explain you how to write notice. That means Suchana in Hindi. Notices are written for different purposes and notices are of different kinds too. You might have seen many notices like a notice put in your school notice board, in the premises of some bank or on some public places. Every notice has some purpose and every notice has its targeted readers. Today we are just going to study this notice, which is usually asked in the exams, and I'll tell you how to get the full marks in the notice writing. This is a minor discourse and it has certain rules also, and it has some formats also which you have to strictly follow, otherwise you will be losing some marks. So let's start. What are the most important thing which you have to learn and be very careful about? In my classes, I'll always tell you about learning the concept of writing, not memorizing the notices. Just learn how a notice is written, what a notice must have in its body, and how it must be started and how it should be concluded. Everything I'll tell you in this class, and you have to be very careful when I explain you the things and I tell you about the important things which you have to always notice about the notice. So first of all, you have to be very careful and you should never miss about that all notice which you will write in your exams, that must be written in a block. You might see here that a block is here. This notice is written in a block. And from all four sides, you have to leave a little margin also. You don't have to touch the lines. This is also a very important point to notice. Second, that notice must be written in 50 words. There may be margin of 5 words plus minus, but basically the given numbers of the words are 50 words, and those words will be counted only the main body of the notice. And you can see here how, now let me tell you how we start, what is the format of notice. Then I will explain that what your notice must reflect. Your notice must answer 5 or 4 WH questions. You all know what, when, where, why, who, and how. Usually these are the WH questions, and your notice must answer these WH questions. Not 5 or 6, at least 4 or 5 questions must be answered from your notice. And we will also check out whether this notice is answering all WH questions and where are the main points which are answering. For example, you can see in the main body of the notice, there are some expressions, some words written in some different colors to highlight that those are the things which are the answer of WH questions. So let's start how to start a notice. So first we will go for the formats. You can see here any notice is written or issued by some organization. So at the top in the center we write the name of the issuing authority or the name of the issuing organization. For example, we have taken an example here. This is school notice, SVM, then the comma, Girls Wing, Buxar. So this is the organization which has issued this notice. We have written this notice, name of the organization at the top. Always be careful that it must be maintained in the center. Then we leave a line and write NOTICE, notice, in capital or block letters. This is very important that you have to write notice always in block letters. And it is better if it is underlined. It should be underlined. Notice, then underline it. Then in the next line, here you don't have to leave any line. After notice, in the next line, you go to the left margin and then you can write here the date on which this notice was put on the notice board. On the date this notice was issued. So you have to write that date here below the notice. The next line you write the date. The form of writing the date is very clear here. It is very clear. Then we come to the heading. You have to put the heading or the title of the notice. And this notice title is not a very difficult thing. You should not get puzzled and you should not get nervous. How to find out the heading, shirsak. It's very easy because it is written in the question itself. For example, whatever notice is written here, it is written, if the question will come, it will become in this form. Write a notice. You are the sports manager of your school and your school is going to organize an inter-school sports competition. So you have to write a notice regarding a school competition, a sports competition, and you are a sports manager of your school. So you got this idea that what is the topic, why this notice is written, and the reason is inter-school sports competition. So you can pick up this expression from the question paper. Suppose there is some notice, you are activity head of your school and your school is going to organize a music competition and you have to write a notice about that. So what will be the heading or the title of that notice? Definitely a music competition. Let's take another example how to find out the title or the heading. Suppose you are the president of your school and there is one girl whose wristwatch is lost or anything is lost and you have to write a notice for that. Suppose a purse or a wallet has been lost. Then what would be the topic? A lost wristwatch. You will write a lost wristwatch. The heading will be lost wristwatch. So I hope the 4 things are very clear to you. First, the name of organization, then notice in capital, underline, then the date, and then the heading. These are the heading part of the notice. Then starts the main body of the notice. And this notice will answer the WH questions, and it will make clear to its reader why this notice has been put and what is the purpose of this notice. So let's see this. How to usually we can start in 2-3 manners, but one example is written here. You can see it is informed that. That means सूचित किया जाता है. It is informed that. The one more thing you have to notice about the notice, you have to be very careful. The notices has to be written in the 3rd person form, and we do not use I and you words. I and you words are not used. So it is informed that our school is going to organize an inter-school sports competition. So here you can see that some words are written in a red ink. Those red words are the answer of WH question. For example, who is organizing the program? The our school. Okay. What is the event? Inter-school sports competition. Then comes when it will happen. When? Then the answer is on 7 July 2020. That is 7/7/2020. So the date is fixed. So when? Then it is answer. The date is the answer. Then comes that what time, when it will happen, what time. We have to mention about the time also. So the time is already written, 7 to 11:30 a.m. And then the most important part, usually in the most of the notices, that you have to explain the venue. VENUE, venue. That means the place where the event or the program will take place. So in our school ground, where this event will take place? The question is where this event will take place, where this sports competition will held. The answer is in our school ground. And in this, usually in such programs, when some big events are organized, then definitely we invite some big people like DM or some school secretaries, some ministers, MLAs, or some government officials, or some person of repute, maybe some doctor, anybody who has some social repute. We usually invite those people. So it is customary, it is good to write about the chief guest or the guest which are going to participate in that event. So in this sports competition, DM and the local MLA, sorry. The DM and the local MLA, that is Member of Legislative Assembly, will distribute the prizes. That means they will grace the occasion. They will be our guest and they will distribute the prizes to the winners, first, second, third, or even the consolation prizes sometime we give. So all prizes will be distributed by these two people. So you have to mention the name of, usually it is very good to, suppose you are going to write about a notice about music competition. So you will write that some person from the field of music. We have one very great singer, Bhojpuri singer, that is Bharat Sharma. So we can write here that Bharat Sharma will be our chief guest. He has a very deep knowledge about the music. So he will be the judge or our distinguished guest on the occasion. Then we write about the procedure. At the end, we end our main body in this manner. You have to memorize that if the sports event, and we have one more thing which is left, that what type of event is that? Who will participate? What games will be there in the competition? So we have athletics, we have wrestling, we have kho-kho, and such type of games will be held on that day. And at the end, those interested students may get their name enrolled or registered with the sports teacher. Sports teacher is in charge for that, and the sports manager is also coordinating this event. So we write in this manner: interested students can get their name enrolled with the sports teacher or may contact the undersigned. Undersigned, that means the person who has put their signature below the main body of the notice. So we can see here it's Amanda, who is the sports manager of the school. Amanda is the name. Amanda is the name, who is the sports manager. So when our main body is finished, then who is undersigned? Amanda is the undersigned. She has put this notice. She has issued this notice on behalf of the organization. Okay, sometime this notice may be issued by your school principal. This notice can be issued, such type of notice, by a branch manager of any bank, or this type of notice may be issued in some government offices by the CEO, BDOs, or the DM of any district. The signature of the DM will be there, and then in the bracket it will be written district magistrate. So the name, after when the main body is finished, then we write the name of the undersigned, and then we leave a line, and then we write the name of the designation, that is Padnam, the name of the post. What is the name of the post of this issuing Amanda? That is sports manager. And then after writing the sports manager, again we leave this much of space and then complete this block. Below that we draw a line. So this is a format of letter, and you can see it and you can try to find out with those red ink written letters, words, which will explain you how this notice notice is reflecting all WH questions answered. So this was a notice, and on the same format we can write several notices. Thank you. See you in the next video, and write a notice on a music competition on the same pattern. Thank you.